Welcome to StellarStrategyGaming. This is Ben bringing you another hot cup of homebrew. Someone on Reddit had the idea for a build for a cleric who was someone who had converted to whatever religion they were and had that sort of fiery drive that only a recent convert has. We're going to go ahead and call this the Zealot's domain. And here's what I came up with that this fierce, fiery convert will have. At level 1, you can use Wisdom instead of Charisma for the Charisma checks. So if you use Charisma as your dump stat with your cleric, no worries, you can still win converts and intimidate the faithless, as it were. You do not get heavy armor proficiency. I see this as someone who might have to sneak around a little bit, sneak around among people who are not of shared faith and may not appreciate your presence. But you do get bonus proficiencies to Persuasion, Intimidation, and Stealth. Starting at level 2, you can use your Channel Divinity ability for an ability called Smite the Unbeliever, which allows you to make a melee attack using your Wisdom modifier instead of your Strength or Dexterity mod. The attack does count as magical for the purposes of overcoming resistance. So there again, it's a way for your cleric to be more effective without having to diversify their stat block too much. As you level up, your Channel Divinity does, of course, improve. At 6th level, you can use it to turn the faithless. Up to 3 targets within 30 feet of you must succeed on a Wisdom save or be frightened of you for 1 minute. There again, picture that fiery crusader type cleric just terrifying the heretics. At 8th level, you gain the ability Avatar of Might. Allies within 20 feet of you have advantage on being charmed or frightened. So your divine presence, your righteous presence, helps out your allies in combat. At 17th level, you have the ability Martyrdom. When you drop to 0 HP, you may make a melee or ranged weapon attack, and it is an automatic crit on a hit. So this is sort of the heroic last stand of your cleric. As they go, they try to take the enemy with them. In addition, as with any other cleric, you're going to get an expanded spell list. I devised this spell list with the idea that it would be a mix between combat and stealth, because as I said, you are going to be sneaking around a bit, trying to gain a following in places where you might not be totally appreciated. So, at 1st level, you get Heroism and Disguise Self. 3rd level, you get Suggestion and Pass Without Trace. 5th level, you get Counterspell and Layman's Tiny Hut. At 7th level, you get Water Breathing and Dominate Beast. 9th, you get Stone Skin and Insect Plague. So Heroism and Disguise Self are pretty self-explanatory. It helps you fight when you have to, and it helps you blend into the crowd when you need to get away. Suggestion and Pass Without Trace follow similar route. Suggestion can get you out of a tricky situation, as can Pass Without Trace. Counterspell, basically your enemy, the heathen who is against you and your righteous party tries to do magic, you can stop it. Layman's Tiny Hut gives you a place to hide when everything else doesn't work. Water Breathing is another good way to get out of trouble quickly. Dominate Beast, there are many stories of saints and martyrs who have affiliations or affinity with animals, St. Francis of Assisi being an obvious example. Stone Skin, of course, gives you protection from physical attacks. And Insect Plague, I mean, come on, how can you really have a great holy story without a good insect plague? I hope you've enjoyed listening to this build. I'd love to hear any suggestions or ideas anybody has about ways to improve it, and what you think of it overall. Is it just right? Is it too strong? Is it too weak? Is the flavor where it needs to be? Let me know in the comments. If you've made it this far, please like and subscribe and press the bell icon for more. Thank you so much.